Hey, we're live. And today we're going to talk about lottery realtor partners. And, it's that type of client or partner that, like, every time you talk with them, you're just like, man, I feel like I won the lottery. And, I mean, there's a lot of times, boom, roasted, that, I'm really like, I'm grateful that Costas introduced me and you, and we get to work together.
Right.
Like, I think, man, like, how cool is it that I get to work with Zach every day? And the idea is like, man, what if you only worked with people where it feels like winning the lottery? Is
Right.
that actually possible? Right.
Right.
And so, what got me thinking about that is we were in our networking group last week, and our friend, she's a realtor, Renee, she said that four people that she hadn't talked to in a long time reached out to her and said, hey, I'm thinking about moving, need real estate help. Can you help me?
Right.
And um, what's cool about those people that reached out is, you know, that they're not price shopping. Like, these are the, like, when they reach out to you, it's like winning the lottery.
Right.
It's the type of clients that I only work with, and I think part of the reason is positioning. When people come to me, I get to be the buyer. When I chase them, I'm the seller. You
Right.
know,
Right.
and so yeah, I really like the idea of thinking of it like winning a lottery ticket. Like, what does it mean for you? What's a lottery ticket client for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, excuse me, I'm a bit under the weather, but uh, for me, lottery ticket clients are the clients that they value my expertise. Right. I don't have to try and convince people of the value that I bring to the table, the information that I bring to bear. It's not just somebody. In the real estate world, you're not perceived as the person that just opens the door for you. You're not just the person that gets to show the property. There's more of a value exchange and expertise where they see you as a trusted advisor. In my world, the way that I've experienced that is when I've helped people build websites or design things as part of what I do. I hate being the one where it's just like, I have this vision for a website and I want you to be like my in between, where it's like, instead of me using like coding this thing in HTML and learning those things myself and actually building the website, you're my interface that I'm going
Right.
to just make my vision live. I hate doing that. Right. I want people that are like, man, I know the results that I want to achieve, but I humbly would love to lean on your expertise and your vision in order to achieve that. And I think, in different ways and different facets, that's for all of us. That's what we want. We want to, sure, like, I want to help people be massively successful. I want to feel like I'm valuable in that process and not just a technical conduit for whatever they were going to do anyway, right? If they want somebody like that, go hire somebody cheaper. don't try
Yeah.
to work with me, right? Work with somebody else. But yeah, that's probably the biggest one. The other one, people who are happy to pay like a good rate to get that kind of white glove help and solving exactly the problems that they have. Those are clients that feel like winning the lottery. The other ones are people, like, literally, they're just fun to be around. The kind of people that it's not even about the work. It's hearing about what's going on in their life, their hobbies, their kids and what they're into, and being able to connect on a level that's more than just getting the transaction done, right? Some of my favorite clients, that's part of what our relationship looks like, is that there's this nice blend of sure, there's definitely a client relationship there where there's business being done and there's a professional relationship and value being conveyed, but there's also a certain level of just friendship and enjoying each other's company uh and that sort of idea. So my favorite clients are the ones that, man, I see that I'm getting to meet with them, and it's like, man, I'm excited. I'm excited not only about the work that we're going to do, but I'm excited to connect with this person, right? Those are the lottery
Right.
clients for me.
Yeah, I was talking to James Linder today about his lottery ticket clients, and he mentioned kind of similar. Like it's, for him, it's realtor partners who, and he's at a great place. He said, a couple years ago, he got to fire a couple realtor partners.
Right.
He had enough because they were not lottery ticket, type partners.
Right.
They loved drama. They loved to stir stuff up. They didn't have his back.
Right.
They wanted to get involved, and a lottery ticket partner for him is he's a someone that is competent,
Right.
especially in real estate, that knows how to lead their client, knows how to get them under contract. There's no use doing 25 pre-approvals if someone even has it if they don't have the ability to lead and close them,
Right.
right?
Right.
Um, but then someone who lets him do his job,
Right.
right? That's not. He actually, I think one of my lender clients said, uh, a realtor said, "Yeah, like I want to be on every phone call you have with our client to make sure that they're getting the best rate." And I think this was Mark, and Mark was like, "We're not a good fit for each other because I take care of my clients,
Right.
and you're not going to be on every call. Like you do your job, I'll do mine."
Right.
Right? Like someone that views the expertise.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And what was another one? Yeah, someone that they enjoy, right?
Right.
They I love what Dan Sullivan says. He says, he likes to work with people whose future are bigger than their past.
Right.
People that are future minded, not past minded, and people that want to grow. For me, I want to work with people that, um, you know, I want you to be the network that my kids go to when they get older.
Right.
That like, and what's cool about that is like when I'm the buyer, when people come to me, like I can have my boundaries, I can have my criteria
Right.
and see like, are you a right fit? Of course, there's some things that have to be in place to be able to do that,
Right.
and it's kind of a chicken and an egg thing. Um, but that's actually possible.
Right.
Where what happens if the people you work with, it feels like, man, I just won the lottery.
Right. Right. Yeah, you mentioned the chicken and egg thing. I think honestly, I don't know if we're going to dive into this or not, but I think that's part of what potentially prevents people from really experiencing the reality of having their business be more often these lottery ticket clients than not is that there's this period of time where you have to sort of make a bit of a leap of faith to say, I believe that this is possible, and so I'll start pursuing this as a reality, stop pursuing maybe some of the things that are actually causing me some of the chaos and problems that come into my business as a result of this, right? Because here's the reality. If you continue down the methods that produce, I don't know, what's the opposite of a lottery ticket? Let's call them parking ticket. Parking
Right.
ticket clients, right? Where it's like the exact opposite of what you want. It's like uh the when you're going after parking ticket clients and the kind of people that feel like the equivalent of getting a parking ticket. It's like, sure, you might technically get the deal done, you might technically make some money off of it, but it's a pain in the butt. It doesn't feel good, you don't look forward to the calls. Well, that takes your energy away from being able to service those lottery ticket clients at a high level, being able to do the marketing that helps attract them, being able to really, quite honestly, the way that you set it up, the marketing part becomes incredibly easy and basically effortless. But you still have you show up in life and you show up in business for those people. And if you don't have the time or space or mental energy to do it, you end up in this cycle of you only get more of what you're working toward, right? And so there
Right.
there does become this time in order to create enough space, I think, for those lottery ticket clients. You really do. You have to acknowledge that this is possible. You have to do marketing that will attract those types of people. And you have to believe that it's possible to make those shifts and make those transitions. So you start doing the activities that create it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think the more business comes in, the easier it gets, right? Like I
Yep.
know with my real estate practice, I know, and I'm going to get a couple of calls a month that are lottery ticket clients. I've got two under contract right now. I've got uh, some that are three listings that are coming up here in the next couple months. I
Right.
know, today's the beginning of June. I know I'm going to have some more this month. Like it
Right.
just happens like clockwork. And so whenever I talk with someone that, even if it would be a big check, I know is not a lottery ticket client, I can gracefully walk away or
Right.
say, "Hey, here's the way I work. Does that work for you?" And if they say no, I'm okay with that.
Right.
And I think just knowing like I've got a system that's going to keep bringing me more makes it a whole lot easier, right? Like if
Right.
you're chasing, if you don't know for sure you're going to get the next one, that makes it a whole lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, it goes toward. I mean, this is a principle that I know we both love for sure, and it's something that we've both continually been working on in every facet of our business. Is how powerful it is to have a waiting list, right? Because that waiting list gives you the confidence to be able to say, I don't need to take your business. I know that the next that like I have people lining up the door excited to work with me. So it makes it so that you really do. You get to operate on much more equal footing, if not slightly more advantage to you, right? Like you still have to provide value in
Right.
the process. Uh, but man, when you have that waiting list and you say, I don't need to take this appointment. I don't need to take the time to work with you. If you're going to be a pain in the butt, if you're not going to work with me in a way that actually feels like a good fit, I don't have to work with you. I am more than capable of being able to wait for the next one because I have a waiting list of people excited to work with me. And having the process that builds that out where you, whether it's literally a waiting list of people who have actively like said, hey, I want to work with you, and that sort of idea, or even if it's just a practical waiting list of having an extreme confidence that you know that the next one's coming, and then that
Right.
you know that you're not hurting for where that next opportunity is coming from, because that's a part of what you do, right? Like you help people both put together even a literal waiting list where there's only so much capacity and people can literally line up and be ready to work with you. But there's also that element of, even before then, you can have this confidence of, the next one's coming. You have a process that you don't need to bend over, boom roasted, for to make sure that you get that deal, that you can have confidence that the next powerful deal is coming along. The next lottery ticket client is there right around the corner if this one's not that.
Yeah. And there's two things that really happen with that mindset. One is I've noticed when I know I've got more lottery tickets coming,
Right.
I'm in a better, more relaxed place, and more come.
Right.
Like that's one of the cool things. The other, and I was talking to the lender today about this, is that whenever I'm working with parking lot clients, parking ticket
Right.
clients, um, I start treating my lottery tickets worse.
Right.
Like there's something, it's really hard to separate who I'm working with. It's a little leaven, or leaven's the whole loaf or something like
Right.
that. Isn't that
Right.
something like that?
Yeah.
And
One fleck of poo in your water spoils the whole glass.
right, exactly. And that there's really something to that, like
Right.
that's one of the reasons that, I tell real estate agents, you working with strangers and working with lottery ticket clients, it's
Right.
two different businesses.
Right.
To try to do them both together with the same teammates is really a difficult thing.
Right.
And similar with any partners, if lenders are chasing realtors, you're going to get a lot of non-competent people that are just asking you to follow up on their leads, and
Right.
that's a completely different animal than being someone's realtor growth catalyst, where you have the same vision, same values, you love their clients, and like when you serve them and their clients, it actually like gives you joy, it gives you
Right.
energy.
Right. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. And then like there's such a powerful compounding effect of this too, because when you create the space for this, when you create the space to work with those lottery ticket clients, well, what we know about basic social dynamics, people tend to be connected to people who are like them, right? So
Right.
when you work with the people who have the best clients, you're a lot more likely to also be connected with other people like them that also have great clients. And the clients that you work with, their friends and family are also more likely to be the kind of people that you like working with. Whereas when you're working with those parking ticket clients, the people that they work with, that they're connected to, the people that they're working with, they're more likely to be more of the same. And so it compounds the problem. You get more of it. It's not often that you find, amazing connections from horrible connections. Like tends
Right.
to find like, right? Like there really is. There's an element of this. When I've had a bad experience working with somebody, I don't care typically about the referrals that they send my way nearly as much as the ones that I get from people that I've loved working with, because I expect, even if somebody's like, hey, I got value out of this relationship, because let's be honest, when people work with me, I do tend to bring value regardless, right?
Right.
When it wasn't a good experience for me, I don't want more people like that, right? I want
Right.
to, go after the best, not the connections that I feel like will be more of the same.
Right. Yeah. And when you lead with value, you can set your boundaries. You can do that. You can make sure
Right.
that actually happens.
Right.
And I'm excited. Um, we've got a new lender cohort coming up where we're helping them. And part of the first thing is, who are your lottery ticket partners?
Right.
Like, what are the things that you've discovered you guys value the same thing? So one of the first things is, look at your best realtor partners now that feel like lottery tickets.
Right.
And step one, see what they've got in common, and then we work together. And what's cool is each person's got their own little group, so there's plenty for everybody.
Right.
And you know at the end of the day, can you have 10 really great realtor partners that feel like lottery tickets that you do 10 deals a year with, plus
Right.
whatever your sphere of influence is? Like, that's step one, is find people where it doesn't, as Naval Ravikant says, it feels like play when
Right.
you work with them. It doesn't feel like work.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And there's a sort of, there like in different circles, there's more of like a mystical look at this. That's kind of what The Secret talks about, and that sort of idea. I tend to lean a little bit more to the practical around this, and thinking about the like the way that our RAS works. The what is it? Reticular activating system. Is that one? Is that the right
Yeah.
word for it? And
Yeah.
there's a certain level of this where when you look at, let me just ask myself, who have I worked with in the past that I really enjoyed? Right? What did I enjoy about working with them? What are some traits about these people? And you just start becoming aware of these things. And in some of the conversations, we're connected in BNI, and I've been meeting with a number of the people in our BNI group. That's been one of the things that I've been asking and encouraging people to think about too, is think about what aligns the people that you most enjoy working with, even if it doesn't seem like it matters, right? Like, are you finding that your best clients have come from Rotary or something, right? Like, because maybe
Right.
there's something about that is connecting the right sort of people, even if them being a Rotary member doesn't matter at all to you, right? Like, because it may not, right? It
Right.
doesn't make a difference for many businesses, but so asking those questions, you start to be able to discern, like, what are these things? Because when you get more clear on it, you naturally start either seeking out or noticing when you see another good fit. But it's like when you're so up to your eyeballs in parking ticket clients that you can't see clearly what is actually enjoyable, what you actually want more of. You may miss those opportunities that are literally right there around you. I know that's been a thing that's been happening with me. I've been talking to you about some of the work that I'm doing, and just reconnecting with my database, with my people, my friends and family. And man, it's been amazing to just like step back and think through, now that I have clarity around who I'm going after and like what I'm offering. it's feeling easier and easier to see a name and notice when, oh man, I really liked this person. This was a good experience, and I can envision how reconnecting with them would be a good opportunity. And anyway, what's powerful about what you do is, like, sure, I'm doing for me and my end, I'm doing more of an active process, right?
Right.
Part of what you do is you make it so that even if you're not doing an active process, those people are seeking you out regardless, right? So
Right.
it's even more powerful to just have that running in the background. Because let's be honest, like, I don't know, I know for me, I probably won't be able to maintain being active with it all the time. It's just my personality. But when
Right.
you set it and forget it and have referrals while you sleep running in the background, just being that lighthouse, finding the right people and drawing them to you, like, man, it's real powerful.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, part of it is referrals while you sleep creates lottery clients,
Right.
because people see you, they begin to trust you, you've got influence. Because,
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's people who want to work with you because it's you, they want to
Right.
follow your experience and you enjoy.
Right.
And as they see you, parking lot tickets, parking ticket clients, they run the other way because the thing is they know that you don't work well together, right?
Right. Right.
So you don't even have to fire less of them because they don't even come around. They're like, yeah, that's not a good fit for me,
Right.
which is great. There's probably someone that's perfect for them,
Right.
and then the people that are jiving with you
Right.
become every day they become more and more of that lottery ticket.
Right.
And that's kind of the I think the hidden secret that is probably the hardest thing to explain with
Right.
referrals while you sleep. The lottery ticket's the best explanation that I've found. Like,
Right.
you're just like, I'm the luckiest, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Like, I'm
Right.
just working with people that feel like I've won the lottery ticket.
Right.
And it's not about happenstance, right?
Right. Right. Well, and here are some of the elements, not only from what we've discussed, but just from what I've seen, that I think really start to separate whether you're working with those lottery ticket clients versus those parking ticket clients, right? So, on one end, if you are going out and having to do the prospecting, having to do the chasing, having to do the process where you're going to them in order to create the opportunity, you're leaning more toward that likely being a parking ticket client rather than a lottery ticket. And it's not just because of the person. Sometimes it's literally the method. When they feel chased, they're more likely to act like the one of value in that scenario, and they devalue you. It's not always the
Right.
case, but it's a lot more likely and tends to be the way that goes. So that's one element. So if you're doing something where you're having to go out to do it, you're more likely to end up in that end of the process where you're dealing with the parking ticket. Sometimes that means that if you change your approach and you get people coming to you, in one scenario, somebody may be a parking ticket client, but they become a lottery ticket client all by nature of how they came to connect with you. Right?
That's true.
I don't think that's always the case. I don't know if there's any way that we could even test that, but like that feels true for sake of how some of those relationships go, right? Where in their mind, they're grateful to be able to work with you, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so that's one of them. The other one is literally there's an element of you having clarity around who you want to work with, and not just that, having clarity around who you don't want to work with, right? Having,
Right.
like, who are the bad fits, who are the people that aren't a good fit. If you don't have clarity around that, and in your mind you're thinking, I'll work with anybody that can fog a mirror, you're
Right.
probably working with a good deal of parking ticket
Right.
clients in
Yeah.
that process, right? So that's the other one. I think having clarity around who your ideal fits are, and like things that you could do to activate that. Think about who are some of your favorite clients that you've worked with. What did you like about them? Those sorts of ideas. We covered that, and then I think the other thing is acknowledging that none of us have the consistency to stay in front of people, stay top of mind, do that. Like, it's really hard to have that consistency. And so having some sort of system that's continually building influence, continually reminding people of your value, keeping you top of mind, reminding them of what you do and how it's valuable. Like, I think that's the big thing that makes a difference too. Because if you don't have that, the chances of people coming to you are less. The chances that they're coming to you for a reason other than that they see you as an expert is drastically less. So I think that's one of the other key ways that you get those lottery ticket clients. And historically, your lottery ticket clients may have come to you via referrals, right? Like somebody else has worked with you, and so you get that benefit of the transfer of authority. But man, what's cool is that you figured out a magical way that you could create that desire, you could create that influence, and not have to rely on this person made the connection at the right time. Like, you make the like, what's the phrase? So there is some luck to business, but you could get a lot more lucky with more activity, right? And the problem that we tend to run into is that it's really hard to be active at the level that's necessary. Your system essentially creates that activity for people so that they have the chance to get lucky more often. Boom roasted.
Yeah, I think that's a good description. Yeah. And so that's what I want to talk about, the lottery ticket clients. How many of you worked with recently? And lottery ticket realtor partners, and the best way to get lottery ticket realtor partners is to help them get lottery ticket clients.
Right.
It's a win-win-win. And so I'm excited. We've got a cohort starting soon. If you're interested, reach out to me. And you can reach out through any of the DMs to find out when the next class is, and we'll go from there.
One thing I want to throw out, you started toward the beginning of this talking about Renee, and how she mentioned she had like 4 people reach out after starting working with you. One of the things that I said when she said that I want to reiterate right now is, I said, it is amazing to me just how often I hear that from people that are working with Charlie and referrals while you sleep, that they start working with Charlie and it feels magical, where it's not like the types of leads that people are working with through other channels and more typical ways of marketing that aren't kind of this magic secret sauce that you figured out, that it's this magical thing where it's like these people that you're excited to work with, that you haven't talked to in ages, that they just start reaching out to you and they're just like, I need your help. They don't say, oh, it was because I saw this ad on Facebook, and like, you don't get that, but you get just so much more of this serendipitous activity where people are reaching out to you. And time after time, I'm seeing it. Every person that starts working with you, every person that starts implementing the system, like, the only thing that seems to make a difference is, are they as a professional actually quality, right? Because if they are a quality professional and they do good work and they serve their clients at a high level, these conversations naturally come out of that, right? If you're not referable, if you're not the kind of person that people enjoyed working with, then it may not work with for you. But if you naturally are the kind of person that people loved working with, man, the system that you figured out, it makes that possible. And it flips the script for lenders who are typically having to chase down realtor partners, just hoping to get that opportunity, to get that business. It changes that. So you have something of value that makes them seek you out, that makes them excited for being in partnership with you rather than just seeing you as another commodity. So I definitely encourage you, reach out to Charlie, get in on that next cohort. I know you operate with a waiting list. Not everybody who wants to get in will be able to get in, because same thing. Charlie practices what he preaches. He's looking for lottery ticket lenders to work with as well, people that are actually fun to work with. So if you're excited about this process, I encourage you to reach out. And man, I hope you get the opportunity, because it's magical if you do.
Thanks. Oh, that's awesome. That's true. And we will see you guys soon. And thanks, Zach.
You got it.
Bye.